Listen to the sound of music, the chirping of the birds, the crashing of the waves, the whistling of the wind, the ticking of the clock, the beating of your heart. Can you hear the voice of God, the voice that is calling you to do good things and avoid evil? Listen to what He is saying to you for your salvation. The word that He speaks in the Bible. Do you consider the things that He created so that you may believe in Him? The sun, the moon, the stars, and everything that you see are His gifts to you. To listen means to give attention for hearing. That came from Random House Webster Dictionary. Do we really give attention to what our brothers, sisters, families, and even friends are saying? Or more importantly, to what God is saying? We sometimes do not take into account the essence of this word. Listening is an important part of discipleship. Like Christ, we need to be obedient, to listen to what our Father is teaching us, and to follow Him to attain a well-balanced life here on earth. In praying, we also need to listen. Praying without words is the best way to communicate with our personal God. We need a lot of silence to listen to what He is saying. Then, we must put into action what we have heard from Him. Speaking of silence, scrambling the word listen gives us the word silent. If we want to know our personal God more deeply, we must first listen to Him in silence. Life here on earth is not complete if we do not know how to listen, for it involves hearing out each other's burdens so that we may carry them and attain harmony and serenity. To be silent and to listen makes it possible for us to hear God's voice. Sometimes, we open our ears to things we like to hear and tune out sounds we do not like to hear. That is why little Christian does not hear his mother when she tells him to put away his toys. But when she whispers the word ice cream, he comes running. Drop a coin on a sidewalk, and suddenly 20 pairs of eyes turn to it. Why? Because we love the sound of money. A mother can hear the cry of her baby no matter how noisy it was. Why? Because the sound has a special meaning to her. We also need to be sensitive to our Father's voice, who is telling us to listen to His beloved Son. That is why we celebrate today the feast of the Transfiguration. The best way to communicate with Him is by being silent, because it is the only way to hear what He is saying. Praying is not talking to God, but talking with God. There is a big difference. Talking with God means that sometimes we talk and sometimes we listen, just as we do in any ordinary conversation. When do we really listen to God? When do we ever sit, perhaps in the church, and wait for God to tell us something? One thing is certain. God will hardly be telling us something while we sing, we strum our guitars, or clap our hands during liturgy. This reminds me of an Old Testament story about the prophet Elijah who was waiting for God to come. First, there was an earthquake, but God was not there. Then a tornado came, but God was not there either. A flash of lightning plus thunder, still no God. Then a soft, gentle breeze shook the little leaves, and God came. That is from 1 Kings chapter 19 verse 12. The point is that we must listen while waiting. Perhaps we could come to church earlier to hear God is talking to us. I think that at the end of the world, we will be judged on the basis of what we listen to, what we hear and say. As seminarians can affect people because they say that we are chosen by God. That is why they accept whatever we say. Listening is a gift from God that we must take good care of. It has been said that God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we could listen twice as much as we talk, especially to God our Father. Unfortunately, as Jesus observed, some people do hear but do not listen. So this time, it is a reminder for us to listen to Jesus. God bless.